How you all doing? My name is Adam Bergman. If you're new to the show, what's goody, baby? And if you're returning to the show, welcome back to the show. In today's video, as per request from my man Hippo, I'm gonna talk about the economy. Whatever I'm gonna say right now is actually pertaining to the stock market, it's pertaining to the real estate market, it's pertaining to the crypto market, and most importantly, it's pertaining to your pockets and your bottom line. Over the last 2 weeks or so, the stock market started to do a little bit of recovery, and the crypto market is going absolutely berserk. On top of that, the real estate market is starting to get a calm the heck down, and it stopped dropping for just a moment. The question is this a sustainable rally? Is this the bull market that everybody was so patiently waiting for? And in my personal opinion, which doesn't really mean much, you guys don't have to listen to me, I'm not giving you advice, this is just my own personal thoughts. I think that this is a fool's rally, and this is gonna be one of the last rallies before the actual and then it's all gonna be rebuilt. I believe the crypto market is gonna absolutely take a shit really bad in 2023. I believe the stock market might have some more pain to come. How bad that pain is gonna come, I'm not sure, but I do believe that we're gonna have an earnings recession coming along for the next few quarters. And the real estate market, although is starting to come down on a national level of approximately 10% or so, with some cities, states, and jurisdictions really dropping more than 20%, the real estate market did not have its final tanking moment, which I do believe is gonna happen a little bit later this year. The real estate market, in my personal opinion, is gonna be the last of the markets to actually take a full dump, and then it's gonna come back stronger than ever. So, if you worry about your pockets, if you think about buying a home, if you want to invest in stocks, maybe you wanna trim your positions, and of course, if you want to buy or sell or thinking about cryptocurrency, I highly suggest that you sit back, relax, hit the like, hit the share, hit the subscribe, and enjoy the rest of this video because I'm sure you're gonna get something out of it. The current CPI came in at 6.5%, which is around 40% better than the all-time high inflation of the modern day that we've recently had of 9.1%. As a matter of fact, the CPI is 6.5%, while the core is at 5.7%. On top of that, we had something called the PPI. The PPI stands for the Producers Price Index, while the CPI is the Consumer Price Index. And if the CPI is the bottom line to you, the consumer, the PPI is the wholesaler's inflation report. It actually came in better than expected, all the way down to 6.2%. And unlike the Consumer Price Index that was all the way up to 9.1%, the Producer Price Index was north of 10%. Believe it or not. So many things have absolutely changed over the course of the last year, and I do believe that inflation is starting to get under control. However, the starting to get under control is the last thing that we should be worried about right now, and the next thing that we should be worried about right now is the Federal Reserve gonna go too far and completely tank our economy and bring us into a terrible, massive recession. And the answer to that is nobody really knows. Yes, unofficially, we are in a recession. We have a technical recession, but I mean a deep recession. And I do 100% believe that we're in a recession, but I'm talking about a really deep, really FUBAR type of recession. Currently, the federal funds rate is at 4.25 to 4.5%. The Federal Open Market Committee, they're actually gonna be meeting on February 1st. And the Federal Open Market Committee, they actually meet 10 times a year. They're gonna have a meeting on February 1st, they're gonna have a meeting on March 22nd, no meeting in April, and then they're gonna have a meeting on May 3rd. And you might be asking yourself, Adam, thank you so much. I could have looked at this information myself on the internet. Why are you telling us this? Because I wanna coincide the dates of the Federal Open Market Committee to the actual CPI reports. The next CPI report is gonna be February 14th, which is actually after the Federal Open Market Committee meets. The next report is gonna be March 14th, which is actually gonna be before the next meeting in March. April, there's no meeting, and there's gonna be a CPI report on April 12th. May 3rd is gonna be the next FOMC meeting, and then after that, May 10th is gonna be the next CPI reading. And coinciding with the CPI, around a week later is gonna be the PPIs, if that helps you. As I said, currently 4.25 to 4.5%. If you look at the CME futures, there's a 99.3% chance that they're going to be raising by 25 basis points, which gets the federal funds rate to around 4.5 to 4.75. At the last meeting, the Federal Open Market Committee, they posted their meeting minutes, and there's a median projection. The median projection for 2023 of the federal funds rate is actually 5.1%. Now that number actually gets raised and lowered as needed throughout the history of the Federal Open Market Committee. However, over the course of the last year, that number keeps going up, 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 and not down, down, down. Now, if you think about it, 5.1%, which is the projected number of 2023, and the actual number of 4.25 or 4.5 or even 4.75 after this next meeting, that brings us within a 0.5 percent point for the median projected federal funds rate of 2023 and the actual federal funds rate of 2023. Before I go any further, I would like to take a moment to thank the sponsors of today's show. The sponsors of today's show is Crypto for Change. It's an Etsy clothing store. I have a link to the store down below. Right now, most of the merchandise is t-shirts, hoodies, sweatshirts. There is going to be some other apparel and mugs in the short future. However, most of the apparel right now is crypto-based apparel. There will be other apparel in the future, specifically for stocks, the economy, finance, real estate, and of course, more crypto type of gear. I want to say thank you so much for Crypto for Change. If you guys want some really cool gear, custom designs, one-on-ones, please click the link down below. I'm sure you guys are not going to get disappointed. Thank you so much, Crypto for Change, for sponsoring this channel. Remember, the Federal Open Market Committee meets 10 times. So that means in another 9 meetings after that, they have around 0.5 point to play with. The thing is, it's not about how much they raise or not. It's about how aggressive they can be without putting us in a deep recession. As a matter of fact, the entire time, the only thing that's been saving us is the no worries that we don't have high unemployment. Since everybody is working and there's near record low unemployment of around 3.5%, that means the Federal Open Market Committee could have been as aggressive as they needed to be without tanking the entire market. Well, since now the inflation is going down, remember, 6.5%. In the next 2 meetings, which we're going to have after the next FOMC meeting, the next CPI data I'm talking about, we're probably going to be down to around 6%. It's very normal to think that we're going to go down another 0.5% in the next 2 CPI readings, right? We still have half a month plus 2 more months. Now, if the FOMC is going to rate the federal funds rate, then now the new federal funds rate is going to be 4.5 to 4.75. And then the CPI is going to come down to 6%. We're going to be approximately 1% between the federal funds rate and the inflation rate. And now the Federal Open Market Committee has to ask itself the question, is whatever they're doing helping or not? And remember, there's a huge lag effect. CEO of Tesla and Twitter, Elon Musk, talks about this a lot. Cathie Wood of ARK Invest, as much as you guys want to laugh at her, talks about this all the time. There's a huge lag effect, and a lot of the CEOs and biggest and brightest minds of our generation when it comes to financial investing believe that there's a huge lag. If you don't time this correctly, this is completely going to collapse our economy. Another thing that we need to look out for, as the supply chain gets fixed, there's no more messed up supply chains for goods. Now we got to worry about services. As more people are going to get unemployed, the service prices are going to go down. And then the last thing that we're going to have to worry about is real estate. And I do believe that the price of real estate is going to go down. As unemployment is going to go up, and services are going to get cheaper, and real estate is going to go down, this should bring down our inflation rate below 6%. And all of a sudden, our federal funds rate and our inflation rate is on the same level. It's unparalleled. Now, that's not exactly what we want. We actually want to have a higher federal funds rate than we actually have the inflation rate to keep bringing it down. But it's a very fine line, a very thin line that we walk between getting our economy under control and completely effing everything up. And I hope they don't F everything up and they get it under control. Now, the thing is, the current mortgage rates actually went down to 6.23%, which is down from 6.4%. These are the lowest rates we've had for quite a while. The amount of mortgage applications is up 25% week over week, but it's actually down 35% year over year. So this is kind of going to put like a stick in the wheel. This is going to pump the brakes of the real estate market totally collapsing. Maybe this is a good thing, put the brakes on. reevaluate. Let's see what exactly is happening. Currently, we have a record high debt, record high credit card bills, record high national debt, and we have near record low savings accounts. Literally, our debt went like this, and our savings accounts went like this. And this is a problem. That means that we're just one catastrophe away. As a nation, most people are living paycheck to paycheck. I believe 2/3 of Americans are living paycheck to paycheck. Shame on you guys for not watching my channel. And if this catastrophe happens, guess what? Down, down, baby. Now, the national debt is at 31.5%. The United States government has a debt to GDP ratio of 120%, which is much better than 135% that it was for quite a while. That means for every dollar that we bring in as a country, we owe $1.20. This is not a sustainable model. Now, we're not the only country in the world to do this, and we seriously are broke as a country, except we're just less broke than everybody else, and we're actually the bank, or let's call us the security guards at the bank. But our security guards is backed by the United States military that spends more money than the next 10 militaries combined. That's freaking crazy, right? Modern day imperialism. Now, that's good for me because I'm an American, so is my family, so it is what it is. I'm just stating a fact that most people don't pay attention to. Now, the current debt ceiling is at 31.4 trillion. Our national debt is at 31.5 trillion. The national debt ceiling was created after World War II. It has been amended 100 times since World War II, and it will be amended again. As many things that happen in this country, we come up with a bright idea to allow us for easy borrowing, and this now is used as a negotiation tool. Do you remember last year we had a debt ceiling, and in order to get the debt ceiling approved, it was put into a lot of packages. This is how politicians, both Republicans and Democrats and people down the middle, they use this as a bargaining chip. I'll give you this if you pass that. That's how we have a lot of these bills that have nothing to do with the core that you're talking about, right? And they sneak things into the bills. So one of my subscribers, shout out to my man Cheap, says, Adam, what do you think is gonna happen to the national debt ceiling? It's gonna be raised, just like it's been raised for the last 100 times. It is what it is. This is, if America was a business, it would have been bankrupt a long time ago. And as a society, not just America, the entire world, we owe more money than there is money in the world. I'll make a video on that if somebody wants to know. But just hear what I said. We owe more money than there is money in production in the entire world. And I'm not just talking about the United States, I'm talking about the entire world. Our entire world lives on credit. It's freaking insane. From the regular person to the highest levels of government, we all live on borrowed money. Let's talk about unemployment. Unemployment, as I mentioned, is at near record lows at like 3.5 at 3.6%, and the currently unemployed is like 5.6 million, 5.5, something like that, just north of 5 million, below 6 million, if I'm not mistaken. And as we have near record lows of unemployment, there is a huge however. The amount of time that it's taking somebody to find a job is increasing. That number now is 3.5 months to 6 months, while in the spring, it was just, a month or so. So people are staying unemployed for longer, and people are applying for unemployment benefits for longer as well. Currently, there are a lot of layoffs happening, and I just wanted to give you some stats. Amazon, Microsoft, Google, Facebook, and Salesforce altogether laid off over 50,000 employees. If there's 5-point-something million unemployed, that is roughly just under 1% of the total unemployment in this entire country. That's a huge number. Now, the problem is not when we're getting unemployed tech sector jobs. No disrespect to them. But when we have blue-collared workers, the truck drivers and the construction workers and people that work with their hands every single day, not their brains, again, no disrespect, that's when you're gonna have a massive, massive issue in this country. Not when some tech person loses his job who's making $250,000 or $500,000 a year. Is the blue-collared worker that's making $50,000 a year, $100,000 a year, and needs to support his 2 or 3 children. That's when you're gonna have a major issue. In my personal opinion, this economy is gonna take a major shit. I am waiting to get out of my crypto positions. There's been a nice little run up. I'm just waiting a little bit longer. I hope I don't get too greedy. I'm gonna take that money and I'm gonna invest it in my businesses, and I'm also gonna invest that into real estate. I was able to sell one of my properties in New Jersey. I collected a nice check for like $365K. That's also gonna help me invest in my businesses and invest into real estate, more real estate. Anybody that's waiting to get into crypto, anybody that's waiting to get into real estate, and anybody that's waiting to get into stocks, I do truly 100% believe you will have a better opportunity to buy all of those. The thing is, you can't get greedy. Bears make money, bulls make money, but pigs get slaughtered. There is a saying. And it's extremely hard to time the market. DCAing down and DCAing up is always the best strategy in the long term. However, some people are super lucky, and it's better to be lucky than good. It's even better to be lucky than great. But your luck runs out over a long period of time. So you can try the market, you could try to time the market, crypto, real estate, and stocks at your own peril. For me personally, I do want to start investing more into real estate and get back to my roots. I am going to be investing in cryptocurrency, but I'm going to be investing in different projects in cryptocurrency, and I am going to be investing in stocks. I sold off of my stocks. I sold off of a lot of my cryptocurrency around 3 or 4 months ago, and I was very transparent to my channel. I wish I was as smart as Chicken Genius. He did this way before me, like 9 months ago, and he timed it pretty freaking good. I was lucky to do this 3 months ago, and I saved myself a lot of money by getting out of the markets, or not my whole positions, but at least 50% of my positions I got out around 3 months ago. I didn't have the balls to do more than 50% of my position. Guys, thank you so much. I really do appreciate you guys. If you guys want more content, please click on this video down below. And if you guys want to see some specific type of videos, please just let me know in the comments down below. I appreciate you all and have a great weekend.